place to. You don't want to lose, obviously, but you may want to try a couple things out. And they go for a different approach. They go for the Warlock. So similar though, because he's like a massive wombo combo team fighter, but he doesn't enable your lifestealer to farm like a madman like Empower does.
Have we been seeing more like when Warlock comes out, they like to usually pair it. VGJ have usually been pairing it actually with Jug here, but obviously that seems to be a bit different for them now. We could also see RTK still go back. Oh no, it's been banned out. I was gonna say for the Centaur, but
yeah,
have been banned out there.
I think every team should be banning out Centaur versus ROTK especially. That he's like ridiculously good on it. His Nyx is also ridiculously good, but he's just I was talking with a lot of people. I think ROTK is playing like one of his best of his career.
Yeah.
In this like the way the patches are hitting him, it's giving him his heroes. His aggression pays off.
Yep. They are targeting him pretty hard now. And they decide to wait. Normally they do pick up his hero right away, but
that's why I thought that they really would, because like this seems like to be like the offlane meta. The bans are offlaners. Very strict offlaners.
I'm curious what they have in mind with this Warlock to value it over getting that Magnus. I mean, it's nice. It's a great initiation. It's brings a lot of potential and good push, but maybe there's something up the sleeve here for VGJ. Or like you said, maybe they just don't want to keep showing the same hand over and over and over again.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit stronger lanes. It's hard to really say off of just the first two what the idea is, what they really want to do with the Warlock just yet.
Man, I'm like looking at the notes we like threw together here to prep for this, and it's like, oh, normally LFY they'll get Slaughter and even pair it with an Underlord, but I'm like, Underlord?
What's that? Yeah,
what?
Everybody's like, that hero's gone.
This like, especially with these Chinese teams, I've been like fiending the DPL matches. They just play anything, and
they really
play
do
it anywhere. It's like
the experimentation, man. That's what these new these balance patches happen. Teams they're like, what's the gut change? Yeah, let's try this one. You know what?
I wouldn't be surprised if they just go back for an OTK Doom or something like that and just like pull it out at this point.
Yeah,
another ban on the Sand King. It's just who knows what they really want to do at this point.
Yeah,
because all I've been seeing him play is like Magnus and LC and Centaur. So, and even a Baden occasionally.
The occasional Nyx as well, but that's a very specific. Like, it's like there's an Ember Spirit or an OD or something, and then like one of those.
Which you never know. Could end up coming the way here.
So Sand King banned out, more offlaners banned, and just initiators, getting rid of all the initiators from ROTK. Ursa banned out, the hero that can deal very well with Lifestealer, and they go for a Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter, some that again. I'm looking here. I don't see Bounty Hunter anywhere.
Nope. I don't think LFY's picked Bounty in.
I mean, they've played Monkey King even, but just like
I want to say I saw maybe one bounty on the list that I was scrolling down way earlier. Yeah, DPL like 11 days ago or something. They picked up a Bounty Hunter, but
in
it was
between these two teams. I would say, FY would be the one to play Bounty Hunter, but no. Okay, well, you have a Bounty Hunter game before you here. I'm sure that kind of plays a hand in how you want to draft for your mid lane, let's say for VGJ, and the possible threats that become your way there.
LFY is already like these three heroes single target, very single target. Quick, they have the crush from Slardar, but
Shuriken bounces.
Yeah.
But again, it's another situation where it's like, does this wait? Well, what does this mean? Who's support? Who's core? Do we know LGD Forever Young to be more of a core vengeful kind of a team, or do they swing around and eventually throw the Slaughter in the off lane occasionally?
I think they have variety still. We know that the Bounty Hunter is 99% the 4.
Yeah, right? Off lane, we'll throw it back to TI3. Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, so it's more than likely the Slaughter off lane, and then they can still leave it between the vengeful support and the vengeful carry, leaving a little bit open. Vici taking quite a lot of time to decide on their next pick. What they want to do they want to address the enemy team, or do they want to stick to their guns? And it looks like they kind of want to stick to their guns a little bit more.
I was curious if they would have considered even like a Spirit Breaker over an Earth Spirit just to keep that Bounty Hunter in check in the early game. But
that might be what they were considering, honestly. They may have been like, FY was probably like, oh, I'd rather have more team fight wombo combo with the Warlock to synergize with the Fatal Bonds.
Yeah,
right?
The Magnetize and Fatal Bonds is ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's probably what they're going for, and then they also gain the the Lifestealer Bomb. They have that, and it's pretty nice for the Earth Spirits to like roll and you dust and you catch the bounty. And okay, LFY goes for the Lina this time for themselves, so that is more than likely the mid Lina.
Get your burst there. Maybe you can knock out the Lifestealer before he's able to infest or rage away. But
Bounty Hunter Lina, those very pressuring heroes onto the mid lane, kind of maybe taking a page out of VGJ's book from the last game. They did the Earth Spirit Lina before, and they pressured the OD a decent amount. He was definitely underfarmed from what we'd want to see, so maybe that's what they want to go for that approach.
So what's good then against the Lina there. We saw Lina match up pretty well against OD, who's considered one of the better mid laners. I imagine that means there's only so many out there that can kind of go toe-to-toe with her. You know, maybe something like a Meepo, but these are Chinese teams.
Nah.
I don't know what Meepo is.
Meepo.
Mid lane Venomancer is great with Warlock and Earth Spirit, but I don't know if you want to be too pigeonholed into like grimy Magic Fatal Bond action. So instead they move in for a Tinker, which was, I just saw, Lyrical praising a bit on how like OP, I believe that's IG's mid laner, has been playing a lot of seriously sick Tinker.
That's like one of his top heroes, Shadow Fiend Tinker, I think, for him.
So maybe some of them at VGJ are just kind of also taking in, because I know this is something Peter likes to say, these Chinese teams, they love to share info amongst each other. So maybe they're just going to give the Tinker the shot themselves.
Yep. LFY banning out the Nyx. I think, the last last offlaner. We've gotten rid of all 5 of them. I don't know how else you could target ROTK more than by looking at LFY's
crazy.
bans. But
honestly, what's left for him? Like, it's seriously like Doom. Like, I remember
Tidehunter,
playing that a bit.
Doom.
Oh, Tidehunter. He actually plays a decent Tidehunter. Darkseer is also a dead offlaner now, but could be great with this because you have Earth Spirit.
It could work with the Earth Spirit, and then they have the Wombo combo with the
they'll
Warlock.
They'll get Darkseer.
This looks like they banned the Anti-Mage too. I think it's the Darkseer.
Darkseer pick for sure. I was actually surprised to never see him in any of the other games, especially with Earth Spirit still coming out.
He hurt. I mean, you don't get level 2 off the first wave if you Ion Shell it.
Yeah.
So you don't get your Surge. Even if you've seen a lot of like those Darkseers, they sack themselves to get that too. You don't get it now.
What if he just goes to the jungle again? I mean, should he? I don't know.
We'll see what they decide. I think it's the Darkseer because they banned the AM, but the AM also banned is versus the Tinker too. So we'll see which one they want to go for. There's not a lot of offlaners left, like we said. So so they Bat Rider instead. That's hero that has been kind of falling out of fruition. We did see it played earlier today already in the first 2 picks as well.
It's great, with your
Initiator,
Lifestealer. You get someone to help initiate, help maybe set things up with the Lifestealer, or you bring someone back into the Lifestealer. And the final pickup here is going to be the Morphling for Forever Young. All right, he's a high scaling kind of a hero. Has heavy burst.
I really like Vici's draft over LFY's here.
Yeah.
I don't really like the last 3.
I'm
by
nervous
LFY.
about what options they have to stop this Tinker. I mean, it's not like you have your Clockwork or Disruptor or any way to like stop
any
him
of
from
those
just
spirits,
around.
like the Earth Spirit. You don't have like those guys that can just like jump to the back. You have like Wave of Terror for scouting him and like Slaughter Blink later on, but
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll have to see. I feel like VGJ, if they have a really strong early game and like a lot of momentum behind them, it could be a bit difficult. But LGD have the Bounty Hunter factor. They get some pick-offs, some kills with the Bounty Gold. Suddenly the Lina comes online faster, has her Bloodstone sooner. Morphling becomes relevant faster. There could be snowball potential there.
Yeah, I think this mid lane is going to be kind of like the hectic thing again. Tinker has a lot of kill potential on the Lina. Lina also can have some kill potential on the Tinker. So it depends on which rotations work better.
Oh, I mean, I'm an Earth Spirit. Like, Lina's like one of the best heroes you can gank in the mid lane. There's only so many mid laners who are able to like jump away from an instant initiation. Now, FY was a bit off the mark on his rolling boulders in game number 1, so hopefully he's shaking that off a bit. But yeah, you connect with one rolling boulder here. They might have some opportunities to kill on the Lina, but Bounty Hunter might be there to mirror him.
He is a lot of their catch and everything in this game, disable in this game. It's like Bat Rider and him, they have a lot of the onus on them to be able to really pressure and really get the disables for their team.
All right, let's get into it. It's the first heat for both of these teams. Vici J coming in this one's as favorites. Have already taken the first game. Looking to close it out as a 2-0 series here. LFY have a lot more to prove for themselves, and in this event when there's a lot of Chinese teams really stacked against them, they're looking to kind of have their head hung above the rest. You got probably Valve watching closely. TI invites are probably going to be considered based off this event, so they're hoping to kind of really make a name for themselves.
Absolutely.
But Vici J, so far, looking pretty damn good. We'll start off with a bit of a pause here, it looks like, but this gives me a moment to make sure I get all my keys in order.
I'm just clicking through the items, seeing what people start off. Aggressive switched his item build this time. Went for Poor Man's Shield.
Would you have normally gone for a straight Poor Man's Shield? Is that only because of 7.04?
7.04.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So they just get it right off the bat. Okay, fair enough. And early Orb of Venom. So you're definitely looking at a proactive FY here. Fenrir is going to be the other words. Freeze, early Null. Looks all good there. What's happening over here with my LFY boys?
TP on the Bounty Hunter, so they'll probably give him a couple wards, get some nice vision wards to keep the eyes on the Earth Spirit in the early laning phase.
Whoa, that Bounty Hunter set. I've never seen that helmet before.
Right, that's what I was looking at too.
What?
I was very intrigued.
What What is that?
Oh, that looks crazy. What?
He looks like a bad guy from Power Rangers or something.
He has like a whole back piece too and everything. Look at that.
Wait, let me see this.
He's got like a big backpack thing. I haven't
Oh.
seen this one yet.
Well, he doesn't have he's not using what, the Immortal or whatever that
Yeah.
changes the thing, but that's interesting.
No, he is Hunter's Horde. Yeah.
Oh, it is the
That
Immortal?
is the big bag. Yeah, that's the bag part.
Oh, okay. Dang, that's crazy.
All right. Well, let's try to think about it. Let's see these two teams. So, I mean,
Have you ever
I
seen
just
that?
like Vici's a
console,
lot.
you've been online for a while. Oh, it's
Yeah,
telling me I need to take a break.
perfect world. It wants you to. You want to take you a break.
Will it, like, kick me off? It won't do
Nah.
that, right? It's just going to keep reminding.
It just warns you. It's just like, hey, man.
Hey, don't game too hard, all right? You got a life to live, and you got to be healthy. Admin kind of questioning here, but I'm sure they're going to look to go investigate our players playing in the competitive room just downstairs. We're currently hanging on the floor with all the practice rooms right now. This whole hotel, which is a glorious hotel, by the way,
Yeah, amazing.
is just like packed with Dota action right now. So it's pretty hype.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a connection issue because we did have like a little thing came up that said so like, to returning to matchmaking. We're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Dota. But looks like things are kind of figured out now. We got the go-aheads here. Guys, let's get into it.
I just want to see if maybe these lanes are a little bit wacky just because Aggressive does go for that poor man's shield level 1, or does he expect them to put some pressure on him with some kind of dual lane?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the approach is and see where he goes.
And obviously
it's
RTK
standard.
going to be going right to lane to early boots, no necessarily early Irontown business. And FY will also quickly rush up there. And we're going to get underway. So as you said, the Bounty Hunter able to TP down. He's looking to invade. He'll get a nice early offlane ward here. A good hookup for his Slardar, bro.
Yep. I think this is what he needs to do. Did he block the camp? He blocked just the big camp. So some vision.
Is that ideal? Every time, like, now, of course, I'm not a pro here. When I plant the ward, I do it in the spot where it doesn't block the camp because doesn't it kind of make it a dead giveaway that there's a ward there? I mean, the camp's blocked, but I guess it's just
The
having
idea
that
is to block the
camp
though,
so you
yeah.
stop the pull. Okay,
Yep.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
Because they need the Slardar to get experience. He already committed to go for laning items,
Ooh.
so he's going to be straight up down there. I mean, it's hard for him to zone him. Like, what, a Warlock Lifestealer? That's not really going to zone him. FY needs to be there to do it, too. So when they block that camp out, they can't keep the lane pulled back. You can always be able to get experience on the Slardar. That's the idea.
Yeah, the Slar is somehow able to kind of force FY to be down there. That would be a huge win for him. But FY actually hanging at the top for now. Look at this. I think Vici J are going to try to round up and around the corner to make a unique approach toward that bounty rune here. I don't know if they have potential for first blood.
Here, skilled Morph. It could definitely be possible. That is the fear of Morphling.
Misses the rolling boulder there. Nice little sidestep comes out from Venge. And now they're going to establish and get the bounty.
So 2 for 2, though, because White actually does end up stealing the bounty
you're
from
right.
Aggressive bottom.
Very nicely done.
But it does look like I was kind of thinking that they were doing something just because he started with the poor man's shield on Aggressive. So I was like, this looks like he's trying to do for some like 1v1. So they're trying to pressure the Morphling as much as possible. Bring that like tri-lane Aggressive with the Bat Rider, not let him free farm. And we already see the adjustment. Morphling's moving toward the bottom lane so that he can farm 1v1.
Like, this can't be an offlane bounty hunter. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, I was like, I think this is what they're going to go for, but I wasn't entirely sure just because, I mean, Morphling's a very easy hero to just pressure like that. So it's a very good approach by Vici, already causing a little bit of just dismantling a bit of LFY's ideas of this game.
Yeah. All right. And now what the hell's happening with Fenrir? He like TP'd in. There's like some crazy ass graphic on my screen, but he's here now and he'll join the side of Aggressive here on this 2-on-2 kind of a matchup. But hey, Bounty Hunter's here means that Bounty Hunter is not in the mid lane. I don't even think Freeze had a sentry ward or anything, so maybe they weren't even anticipating for it. But there goes the roll, and I think he missed again. Oh man, FY is just having a hard time with these rolling boulders, man.
Yeah, no setup for him in this one, so it's definitely harder, but yeah.
Okay,
Fenrir, bottom lane.
Suddenly it's 3 on the side of LFY, and they're looking to use that advantage in numbers, and they'll get it done. One last right click will come out, and they're going to be the team to get that first blood.
Stepped up just a little bit too far, used the Shadow Word aggressively, and that was LFY instantly recognized that and made the go.
Nice moves. And mid lane also. It looks like we're going to catch the back end of that one. Maybe the second rolling boulder was the good one. And they're going to be able to get the setup and the burst taking down the Lena. VGJ are going to be much happier with that trade.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen when you're emphasizing on the bottom lane. They want to make sure their Morphling farms. Their mid laner is going to suffer. He does have a mid ward up on that high ground there near the Ancients that we do see some teams using now.
Yeah.
But
that's a nice little ward.
The FY just went going the other way around and catching.
He's waiting for the 2-minute rune, but already White's going to be here. He doesn't have a early dust or anything, so it looks like he's just going to try to go for the steal. But FY's got it, standing in a good spot. Looked like right on top of it. will take it, and he'll take his business back to bottom lane. But obviously LFY will know this approach, and I think they're just going to do-side-do, if you will. White might even, I don't know, maybe consider moving towards the mid lane at this point.
Freeze was walking toward top rune to get it, and Super denies it from him. Neither of them have their bottles on them just yet anyway. So.
Ooh, bottom lane, a hard move in for LPC here. It looks like they'll be able to make it out. Just a nice little aggressive approach, taking advantage while they had that number. But White's here again.
Their aggressive tri-lane is accomplishing what they wanted it to do. You know, they're pressuring the Lifestealer very hard, and the Morphling is farming very well.
They were trying to maybe coax LFY into an awkward position and towards where FY could have been able to roll in and get something set up, but they were not going to be biting on that one or moving in too far. Haven't really talked about the top lane too much here. We got a battle of offlaners, ROTK and the Slaughter going toe-to-toe. It's ROTK getting the better of it, but we're not really surprised by that. Batting a one-on-one versus a melee hero, I think, is always a good time for him.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's just knocking him up. Does have the wand to kind of take advantage of all those charges, but ROTK is just taking advantage of the lane. So him and the Tinker currently hanging up there at the top. Tinker at 17-3 to Lena's 13-3. Looks like another good laning phase for Freeze here. Certainly with that early kill will do it.
Yeah, FY was trying to set up on mid, but that nice high ground mid ward actually was scouting him in the tree line a little bit. Freeze now has his boots delivered. He has his bottle delivered too, so he has quite an advantage over Super now.
Is it straight to the ruby red shoes at this point, or do you pick up anything along the way here?
I think straight to the ruby red shoes, maybe a raindrop. Yeah, he grabbed the raindrop as soon as I was going to say it.
Nice call.
I mean, raindrop is just such an efficient item.
Yeah. And,
top lane, another boulder off the mark.
Come on, FY. What's happening here?
He's putting the pressure, you know. It's a zoning boulder. Stuns Jishing. Is he able to steal the bounty? He is not.
Dang.
Tried.
Oh, well, he'll walk away from that one. He's drawing the attention from the Slaughter, though. Is anyone rotating over to help him? No.
Jishing's like, you're not getting your bounty.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
this
just going to go.
Mine.
Well, they know he's going up there. Are they going to try to catch him? He's going to go the low
fast.
road, and yeah, he has the sprint available here in 5 seconds if he needs it. But it looks like he's been able to slither his way out. FY's waiting for him on the other side. He's like, okay, I see you.
That was still pretty cute, you know, just the way he did it. He's just like, you're trying to take my bounty, Rude?
I mean, FY's like, yeah, follow me around, dude. ROTK's in the lane, taking full advantage of it if you want to play this game. Oh, mid lane.
Mid lane.
Ah, Vengeful Spirit. Beautiful rotation over between her and White and Super. They should be able to get it done. But, oh, man, FY just shows up in the nick of time. Not able to connect with Lot, but connects when it matters. But they're still going to be able to get Freeze. A deep dive from the Bounty Hunter will secure that one. FY on the other side not going to be able to get as much success.
Was that a mid-roll kick? I think it was, too. I think he got a mid-roll kick, 3-man stun by FY after missing like 4 boulders. Redeemed. They did lose the Tinker in the end of it, though, but they do get a trade-off at least. And everybody else has to kind of like go heal. But they do actually, they're filling up Super's bottle here, so maybe he doesn't have to heal. Do they have Shrine up? They do. So at least they're able to Shrine the Bounty and the Lina.
Time to hit the showers.
Yep, the same thing happened as, Vici J as well also used their Shrine on the supports.
Top lane they go. ROTK, he's already got the full item plan ready. It's like, I'm going to finish out what's necessary for my drums, and then I'm going to the blink.
Yeah. Yeah, he's farming very effectively.
Oh my God, this mid lane, though, is where the rumble's really happening. This time FY able to get in the action. A burst with the laser, and one last right click will get the finish. Bounty Hunter's there, but he can't do anything besides stab him with that tiny dagger, and that's not going to be enough to stop him. So just as you take down Freeze and some sort of redemption, quickly VGJ strike back.
Yeah, Monet and the Morphling is just, he's still just full free farming in that off lane. Aggressive, it doesn't seem to be like too happy with it, so he even goes back and he's going now for an Iron Talon himself. So he's like, all right, you're gaining the advantage off in the laning phase, so now I'm going to farm under my tower and then also go to the jungle
trouble.
quickly.
ROTK. A rotation could be coming in from Vengeful Spirit, but she doesn't round all the way behind. She actually goes up and tries to cut through the middle. ROTK goes right into his flight and should be able to avoid any further trouble here. Even FY had been there just in case.
I think that would have been a very hard kill, to be honest. Like, he's got the raindrop finished up and everything too. He's got 900 HP. He's quite tanky on the bat, and they did have, like you said, the Earth Spirit behind. So
he might hand off the lane here soon too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe nice to give FY some time to farm and build up towards his ulti here. So we'll see. But instead, maybe just looking for their own setup. They have Lasso. Do they have enough burst to take down someone like the Morphling here? I don't know.
If they get enough stacks on him, the amount of damage the Firefly does should be enough with the silence on top, as long as the silence comes out before the morph.
Yeah.
But he's only level 5, so there's only a level 2 morph. It doesn't really heal you that fast. we'll see what they end up trying to go
Oop,
for
he
here.
crosses path, sees Venge instead, and says that's a better target. Gets the pullback. There goes into the boulder smash.
Yep.
Monet will try to eat through the trees to help out, but he's like, I'm not about getting in that action. So here we go. Another pickup for VGJ. This is a kill for ROTK. Gets him that much closer to his next item pickup, which is seeming to be the drums. So big boost for them. That's a top lane one. It feels like a mid lane one. And I imagine that aggressive here in the bottom lanes is able to just sidestep out and avoid the crush. Is also having a pretty damn good time. He's second in CS. So
The beauty of being a life stealer, you're always going to farm. They can't really pressure you too hard. You're always just able to go to the jungle, hit some creeps. He has an Iron Talon too, so they're just always content. He's a little bit behind on the CS that he would probably want to be, but he's still recovered very well after getting kind of like aggro tri-laned in a way. Mid lane, FY goes for a roll, goes for a kick, doesn't get them onto super. Now the turnaround, FY almost gets brought down. If that LSA connected, he was dead for sure.
They wanted to threat. VS kind of rotated over, though, to be there just in case trouble was going to break out. But she is also still trying to find her way to be able to make an impact in some of these lanes. And you've got to say the same for the Bounty Hunter, too. Eventually, you're going to have to get towards that level 6. He could stalk aggressive here, but he's not going to do anything about that. So it's a bit of an awkward period for some of the supports, it feels like, here for LFY. A little under-leveled, still trying to get to level 4 here on LPC.
Yeah, Fenrir is in the same position, man. Fenrir is on that struggle life.
That's true, too. Actually, I forgot Fenrir Warlock was even a part of this game. He's just
Yeah.
hanging in the trees just in case something goes down. But
He's just trying not to die,
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't want to be the cannon fodder in any means. I'm just trying to walk around, stack some camps for my Tinker so we can farm with March. I really like what ROTK is doing, and I think this is something to point out for lots of players, is if you do have a lane like this, he's constantly been ferrying himself, not only just regen, but clarities nonstop. So he is always sitting at full and always able to just be there and cause nonstop pressure, even when Lasso's down. He doesn't go to the jungle.
He was trying to drums, rushed in for Monet. He even wants to flame break him back and continue for it, but eventually he'll get nicked with the
He's gonna
stun.
get him.
FY is helping him pursue forward, but more rotations are going to be coming out, and suddenly it's going to be 4 LFY members. It's the silence is going to be there, ROTK, but you might have just bitten off a little more than you could chew, buddy.
Oh, and the bounty even lives 2 with the stick. He lives with 7 HP.
Barely. Gets involved in a bit of that XP. Still not enough to get him closer to that level 6, but unfortunately for VGJ, they saw an opportunity to make a go for the Morphling and just couldn't quite get the grab.
Just shy of getting the lasso on him. If he did get the lasso on him, he was going to drop for sure, but nice rotations coming out from LFY.
Back to mid lane here. I was saying FY don't see him play Earthspear a lot, but he knows what he needs to do to kind of add the pressure through the early game, and he hasn't stopped yet. Still needs some times to get some levels, though. This is getting about that period when you want to start getting your ulti.
Yeah, aggressive going for Midas this game. So they seem like they're very content with taking this super late with their Tinker. I mean, that's more than likely the case that's going to happen versus a Morphling. So you want to be able to prepare to stand toe-to-toe with that farm potential. Freeze, very close to his boozy travel, 10 gold away.
Yep, and it works out wonderfully. He can be able to finish that out. FY gets the mid lane to work with. ROTK back to the grind there after that stubbing of his toe, if you will, and can get back into working towards that Blink Dagger, but it looks like it's LFY's time to move.
They've got a deep ward down, so they do see the Tinker farming there. They are going for that kill, but Freeze just picks up his booster travel now.
Yep.
It becomes the game of the Tinker.
With a Laguna in the pocket, though.
Mid lane, White gets grabbed up. They had a dust on FY to get a rotation in with the first infest. And Midas finished up for aggressive.
Fenrir's in trouble. They're about to dive him. Behind the tower already. Slaughter looking to move in. On the other side, Super's already there waiting with a Dragon Slave LSA. They don't even need the Laguna. They'll just crush him down. Poor little Warlock. Still level 3. Life is hard. He'll get sent back to base here, and it'll be a trade apiece. But as they go for the bottom tier 1, possibly, it's already VGJ making their move for the mid tier 1. ROTK even in action.
That's like a whatever kill. Fenrir is level 3. They don't get a whole lot. Or he's level 4. They don't get a whole lot out of it. The nice thing is they're able to pressure the tower, but let's see if Vici's able to get there in time to respond. They even go for the smoke. So, yep, they do want to contest this. They want to go for to get some kills. Some more trade-off, but LFY backs up smartly to the shrine.
I wonder if anyone bought the book yet on VGJ. It would be nice to have that Earth Spirit 6 or more levels for Warlock. They seem to have spotted White. They hit him with the dust. There goes the Roaring Boulder in, and ROTK wants to try to burn him apart, looking to hold on to that lasso if possible. But now, rotating in, LFY got numbers again, and they'll blast down ROTK with the help of that Laguna. And aggressive, though he shows up to play. It's just a bit too late. Quick convergence there from LFY lets them win the fight.
Track money.
Yeah. Was that the first? He actually got a track off on ROTK?
Yep. He did get 1 track off.
All right. Very nice.
Level 1 track, not too much of a big deal like how much they get, but you get it. Yourself as the bounty hunter, get a lot of gold.
Yeah, do you think he's going for arcanes, but is this a Greaves kind of a game for your bounty hunter? Do you need that extra bit of sustain on someone in this game?
Absolutely. I think probably like the Mech Greaves, something along those lines. Maybe just go for some other like just defensive support items from Glimmer Cape.
Will obviously help shrug off the silence too.
Yeah, exactly.
But ooh, White knows that there's a sentry bottom lane now as he tries to peek behind the tower there. Gets a creep wave aggroed onto himself.
Yeah, they warded behind the tower before when they caught Fenrir, and Fenrir was pinging it out frantically. So yeah, he went down and just dewarded it right away. That's the great thing about these changes. Buying a single sentry is always, if you know exactly where a ward is, buying a single sentry it's an even trade-off. You get 100 for 100.
Yep.
Always worth it.
All right, and now Bounty Hunter just kind of hanging around, allowing a safety zone for Slaughter to continue to truck his way towards that Blink Dagger pickup. Which is
Very close. He's going to have it very early this game.
Yeah. Freeze, though, back at mid lane, looking to build up. He's got to get that Blink Dagger. Still just another tool in the kit for your Tinker before he can really ball out of control. But after that point, I know it's kind of early to say, but is there a particular pick of this game we've been
Courier.
seeing?
White gets a courier snipe.
Nice snipe from behind right there. We'll be able to take it down. It wasn't carrying anything in the cargo, it looked like, but that is more money in the bank for himself and for LFY.
I missed what you were saying. I was trying to concentrate on the
I was saying
apologies.
that the potential Tinker pickup in the future here. We've seen Dagon, we've seen Aether Lens with Agnum Scepter here. Any particular buildup on the Tinker you'd like to see in this game that might be a bit more valuable?
I think just the Blink Aether Ags is very standard, very cookie cutter, and always works out. Maybe a Bloodstone thrown in there somewhere along the lines.
All right, Fenrir, they wave. They see that he's hanging there behind the tower, but they already have a TP out because top lane also has its own action. The first Magnetize is going to be dished out into Monet. He's going to be TPing back home, it looks like, while White tries to step out, does avoid the Boulder Smash, but that might have refreshed his Magnetize. Rolling back into action, though, is going to be our Slardar. He's got that Blink Dagger, looks to debut it here, gets a good crush off. FY's trying to get the chase onto White, can't quite get it. Shuriken Toss comes out, and they're going to be able to get the response takedown to FY, and they'll get the takedown of
Double
ROTK.
track.
Double track, double kill for Monet. Couldn't really ask for anything better for LFY now.
They do lose their Lina during that, though, in the bottom lane. He's trying to just deep push, and he gets caught, unfortunately for him. But yeah, double track kill. Big gold swing.
Puts him ahead here when, the timings between the Lifestealer and the Morph can be a bit different, but that track money will definitely make things a lot nicer.
Yeah, first Blink showing, gets some 2 track kills. Seems good.
All right, FY's back, but he's a little short on the stones here, so they might have to stall out before they can take any sort of potential team fight. That also delayed ROTK's Blink Dagger again a bit, choosing to go for the drums first, so he's got to wait before he has that extra bit of a better initiating tool to kind of help out his team in a setup.
LFY is feeling pretty good. Like, it's very hard for them to catch this Morphling later on when he has his Lincolns up at, Bat Rider Earth Spirit, sure, but it's breaking that Lincolns is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Aether Lens on the Freeze Tinker in the future could help with that, I guess,
yep.
if you manage to get a good laser. But you're right, it is definitely going to be something that they're going to have to work through there. Fenrir is so close to level 6. My God, man. Get that rock. And we'll have that extra bit of team fight. Because you got to remember, they have the potential, Fatal Bonds, Magnetize,
yes.
Chaotic Offering. The team fight is there if they can get that Wombo combo going.
But they are a late game draft. They're building for the late game. We mentioned, the Midas aggressive. They picked the Tinker. Mm-hmm. Even ROTK didn't go for the Blink first. He went for the drums. They're just trying to, pressure, make this. This is going to be a late game.
So should LFY be the team to, move the game on forward, or do you think in their minds they feel like, especially now with these track goals and stuff, like, oh, we can play the economy game and we'll be fine?
I think it's just a little bit hard for them to pressure the tier 1s is their problem. Versus Tinker, it's just like.
That's right.
You have to just be so careful now that Warlock's 6'2". You don't want to get caught into it. I think LFY is content with farming, and it seems like Vici is pretty content with farming as well.
Doesn't make things very exciting, but does allows them to kind of get to that exciting point a bit faster, though, as far as the farm buildup goes. To the top lane, I don't imagine at this point Freeze is going to show up to try to slow it down. It's already a bit too low, so this is going to be a tower pickup for LFY. And for Monet in particular, his Lincoln's is already done. He's got a shotgun now queued up as his next big item grab, and they're not slowing down the push quite yet. Looks like he'll decide to step off now, but look at this Slardar, man. They're looking to kind of make an approach onto Freeze here if possible, but he is not going to be pushing himself too far forward.
Does some tower trades, aggressive now, finally finishing up his armlet, so he's a hero, kind of, like Phase Midas, his Lifestealer, you can't really go for these aggressive type of plays, but now that he has the armlet, he's actually able to become a relevant force. Looks like LFY wants to be able to claim the mid tier 1, but it's very hard
Yeah,
versus Tinker. Even though White has been doing a very good job of just like sitting in the enemy jungle, just keeping eyes on him nonstop. Not able to get kills, but just always knowing exactly where he's going
here
to
we
be positioned.
go. FY rolling on in, waiting for the approach of the Tinker to help to get this finish, and it looks like they should be able to. Nice grab by them. Get a quick hit and run onto Lina, but look at the counterplay. Double stun comes out from the Slaughter. Our beautiful crush. Fenrir trying to run back and away, and the bounties are all out there. If they can get this, this is money. And they'll take down one already. Freeze trying to go for the TP out. No, he gets denied. Swap back and another crush. 2 track gold kills come in the way of LFY as a response to the Lina takedown.
And Lina respawns pretty much instantly. Even though he doesn't have the Bloodstone, he just hit his 10, so he gets the minus 30-second respawn time. Jixing got a little bit lucky there, to be honest with you. He got the first hit bash on the Tinker. Oh, they go for their own aggressive play from Vici J. They have this Bat Rider Lifestealer combo. They get the Slaughter. Looks like ROTK might go down with the track, but no. Monet, very out of mana, running away down toward the riverside, toward their shrine. They do have it up, and they should be just okay after that one. But nice little aggressive play coming out from Vici J when LFY was probably like, okay, we might be able to just get this tower for free. They were just hiding there in the tree line and get a nice little grab there with the Infest combo.
I'm curious to see if LFY head right back to the drawing board there in the bottom lane to look to go for the finish. They see ROTK still hanging around with a little bit of that low life here as White is
Oh my God.
approaching.
Is he going to be able to get him?
Kaboom, kabang.
And he even hits him, throws the track, and Shuriken tosses him. So he gets the track money, working his way toward that mech. But I think this time he's going to pay with his life when the dust comes out.
FY shows up. He's got the
That's
dust
so
in
worth
hand.
it.
And they will be able to at least make ROTK feel a little bit better. But as you mentioned, the pick off there with the track money onto ROTK makes it so much more juicier. And again, he'll be delayed from the Blink Dagger.
Yep, and the Bounty Hunter spent his gold, forced massive reaction, and he's like, very close to his mech. Just great plays there by White. Just as like we said, he's playing very aggressively in the enemy jungle nonstop.
I want to take an early peek here at the XP is pretty damn even.
It's close game. 2,000 gold in factor of LFY from those track wills, maybe like 1,000 experience, but nothing too crazy just yet.
Oh, look at this. A Dagon build-up for Freeze
Go to the
on
Dagon
his
first.
Tinker. Okay. Looking at the value of the extra burst potential. And an infested ancient black dragon will also scout out the Roche camp too. Obviously something that they're going to be looking to put on their list for this time. Super's got his Bloodstone done.
Yep, instant respawn.
Yeah, so he'll be back. It's something I'm sure VGJ have got to kind of be tuned into. A Midas coming out from Slaughter, so LFY maybe also preparing for a bit of a longer game here.
I love this build up. I think this is just the ideal Slaughter thing. Is like you get your blink and then you can always go back for the Midas. If you get like a couple kills off your first blink dagger, it's just perfect. Because then you actually become like a scaling transitioning core.
Time
and he's
to
not
smoke and go.
Yeah, he's not a 4 Slaughter. You know, he's the offlane Slaughter.
Yeah.
So he does need to transition.
Yeah, and he's getting more mobility too, which, you're going against a Tinker, you're trying to catch him out. You can blink into the lane and force through the trees to try to scout him, hit him with that amp damage, and then try to, stop him from being so freaking elusive. Here at the bottom lane, they're looking to get the finish on the tier 1. No one from Vici J in the area, though, for them to kind of get that smoke jump on. They actually on the other side of the Dota map, working their way through the LFY jungle here. They have any wards they can put down in the meantime here? Doesn't look like at the moment.
They just put one up in the enemy jungle and then one on their one safe Roche ward. White, however, still doing the same thing, just constantly looking for the Tinker, putting deep wards nonstop. And LFY now gets a little bit of time to be able to pressure the bottom tier 2. Yeah, baiting some spells.
He gets it. Makes LFY kind of pump back a little bit here as VGJ are making their long rotation all the way down. But it looks like they might smoke up themselves. Okay. Aggressive, I feel like, has been played in RTK here for quite a while. So they got to make some use out of it here. They're heading right back up towards the top of the map, but still FY are just hanging down here below. So they may miss their mark on that one, or at least they're hoping for someone to eventually come and respond to maybe that tier 2 and punish them there.
They are very patient. No one is really showing on the map, though, for them, so
okay, they see
could be a little
lane.
bit obvious.
Oh, they're going to see LPC here. Goes right for it.
Yeah, let's just get a kill.
Links in, lasso, pullback. Can they get the quick burst without any sort of counterplay? It looks like they will. It's a sport. Not the worst thing ever for LFY, but yeah, he's thinking about it. He's posturing. He's running in. They're seeing where they're going to be splitting apart. They found aggressive kind of running a little bit away from the team. They're going to blast him with the hits. He gets the rage off and runs to the high ground to make it away.
Now they know. Ethereal Blade finished up for Monet. Very early. Blinken's Ethereal, 22 minutes.
Very nice form. Obviously not enough for VTJ to kind of scoot into a Roche or anything just yet, so we'll have to double back for the time being here.
It's going to be so hard for them to kill this Morphling. I think even if he does want to, I think if he goes Manta, he's like unkillable. Mid lane, though, FY in position behind Monet. He does have a Replicate down.
Yeah,
Still going to follow him around, FY's.
That's it.
Look,
They see him.
They see him, the Sentry Ward, yeah.
They want to bait him in.
He seems like he knows something's up. FY's like, they look like they know every time I'm walking in. And he falls for it, though.
Yeah, he gets a bit too close. They hit him with a crush, and he gets off the Ghost Scepter, it looks like. But, oh, no, they Ghost Scepter him, and then they just blast him with the Laguna. Yep. No chance in hell. 11-10. LFY still kind of up and ahead here.
Yeah, small track kills. Mech now going to be finished up for the Bounty Hunter.
And here they come towards the mid-tier 1. What can VGJ do about it? It looks like White's already spotted aggressive, but they go right for him. They punish him for trying to infiltrate right there. Monet thinking about it, double back. Nice counter crush to the lasso, but that's a rock coming out right now. The first one, it feels like, of the game. And they still turn on to aggressive here. Lots of heavy damage. They can't quite get the finish, though. They'll finally bring him down, but Elfwhite takes so many shots for it, losing 4 now. Super's able to quickly respawn here. He could maybe TP into the mid lane to try to do something about it, but a big fight for VGJ. The rock, almost forget about it in the game, and then suddenly it shows up to play there.
Yeah, Freeze as well, just finishing up his Dagon. So he just gets a triple kill. He blinks in laser rocket, gets 2 for down, Dagon's another guy, then cleans up another one right afterwards.
And that damage is being spread, I imagine, through the Fatal Bonds, the marches out there. It's just disgusting team fight.
Yeah,
you know?
Super, like we said, he did get the deny on himself with the Bloodstone, so it wasn't 4 kills, it was only 3. And they did lose aggressive, but they do still have Magnetize up for the next engagement, even though Rock was expended.
He still has 6 stones too. FY obviously was quickly punished in that, so he didn't have to use anything.
Yeah.
But is a man on his own for now. Could be quickly crossing paths with White here. Ooh, he popped the dust. Did catch him. Does he want to chase? Nah. LFY, though, are the ones flirting around this Roche pit here. And VGJ do not want to allow him to get the easy pick. So back to our Mexican standoff near this Roche camp right now. ROTK to the skies, quickly blinks back. Woo! I think he knows that there might be a little bit extra vision there.
Yep. Very hard to go for that Roche, though. Even though they do have amp damage and Venge with such a farmed Morphling, it's just, if you like Earth Spirit, Fatal Bonds, or just
Bat
even
Rider,
too. Without Rock being up, it's too much to deal with. You can't really force one like that when everyone reacts.
So good. VGJ able to kind of posture himself in a position where LFY are just going to have to go back to the drawing board and farm other lanes instead. Morphling, Boots of Travel seems to be the next pickup for him.
LFY's ward game has been very on point this game. I've been mentioning a lot, but White's just playing very good on this Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, lots of wards around this Roche pit right now, but they have some nice deep commitments here to see any sort of lane transitioning from VGJ. And White's getting closer to finishing out the mechanism right now, which could be a surprising boost just when you think you'll be able to kind of dag and laser burst someone down. That mech might give him a second life to be able to, get off a couple of LFY counter spells.
I feel like we're already seeing like kind of what happened with the changes from the patches, the heavy bonus armor from towers when multiple heroes are there. Everyone just seems a lot more content with just like splitting up, farm a lot more, wait till you get more online before trying to make those more risky plays.
Freeze thought about going to the mid lane, but quickly cancels it out after completing the dig, and he now has that Aether Lens complete. But from here on forward, it's all about boosting up the laser, boosting up the Dagon.
Super with his Shadow Blade. Looks like he should be able to get a pick off on FY here. FY should not be too aware of this one going on.
Ooh, here we go. Super will lead it off with the LSA. There's the Laguna. Some right clicks. Can he get off the Boulder Smash and roll away? No! Just a bit too short on being able to do so. Could have gotten away if he had a bit more life, but fortunately not going to be the case. Nice quick pick there for Super and LFY. And that will get him a charge back too.
Looks he's going to be going just for the straight Dagon 5 this game, not the Aghanims. So just wanting that burst potential. Even though they do have the Fatal Bonds, they want to just be able to have that one bring down.
Does that change anything for LFY on how they might want to itemize? I mean, I don't want to say you need to get like a BKB in addition to your Lincolns on Morphling, but for any of the others, do you prepare differently knowing that he's just going to go for full laser cannon?
I think you build pipes, right? You build a pipe on your Venge, maybe 2 pipes.
She already actually has, she's building that way too.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the approach. Maybe pipe on one hero, Lotus Orb on the other, throw the Lotus Orb on the Morphin constantly.
Yeah, it feels like it could be a super value pickup if they're able to kind of get there.
It always is. I mean, playing as Tinker versus Lotus Orbs is so it's just aggravating, like even because when you get your Hex later on, you're constantly hexing yourself and stuff. Like it's pretty much like the best item versus Tinker.
All right, VGJ, look at them. Smoke and straight to the Roche Pit. Straight to a fight here. Fenrir's got the rock back up. They have the Bat Bomb ready to go. Oh, they'll see White. Do they have vision? Oh, the smokes pop. Who's got the dust? They got a sentry, but it's too late. White's already out the other way. And that is going to be a good stop to the gank right there.
White, man, I'm telling you, this guy's been playing incredibly well this game. Breaks the smoke there. Doesn't die. Makes plays across the map. Vision all over.
Makes it a bit refreshing to see, Bounty Hunter have a good place in the game right now.
Yeah.
And they're looking to go back towards the Roche Pit. VGJ are not able to make approach there. They say, why don't we go in and try to get the extra life? But we'll see LFY make their own
DD
approach
rune.
there.
That's handy.
Yeah, a full one. He's ready to go. LFY, do they actually try to stop him? They're going all the way around the corner. Ooh, a crush, but it's from the low ground. So he has to quickly pull off here. Aggressive's eating a lot of damage, it looks like. Okay, jump
they
in.
get the slaughter.
Lasso, quick swap. Nice swap there. We'll cancel out the lasso. They hit ROTK with the track instead for his troubles. And VGJ have to head to their side of the river once again.
Yeah, they killed the replicant now, too.
Look at them. They're hustling all the way up towards the top lane. They see a bounty room, but they don't even grab it. All right, then.
LFY all shrines up. Lasso was expended by Vici and Infest as well, so they're feeling a little bit reluctant to try to go for a engagement now. It looked like they wanted to force the Roche, but LFY was just too quick to react.
I mean, as this happens, Freeze is still able to farm up. He could show up at a moment's notice here. Is Dagon slowly leveling up as well? Okay, jump and crush. Nice connection there. Force forward. The rock comes out, though, as a counterplay. Rolling on in. And now it's going to be LFY trying to make it out. They all been silenced up. They can't try to make it out from this one, and they'll get burned on down. The Morphling quickly taken out. And same with the Venge. LFY got to get the hell back, and that is when VGJ go into the Roast Pit to finish what they started.
That almost looked like an RP. Like there's no Magnus in this game, but they get really clumped up, hit by a massive Fatal Bonds, Boulder Smash, follow up with a Flame Break and Firefly on top. On top of this with the Dagon build, kind of cool. You're expecting Morphling to be sitting very low because he went for this Ethereal Blade build. Having this Dagon 3 already at this time, as long as you break that Linken's, he gets hit by a laser at Dagon, he's pretty much dead right away.
Mm-hmm. Roche acquired here, and this could be the first big peak for VGJ in this game, and we got to see what LFY want to do as a response here.
Jesus, I just started typing the time of the game. It's just like force a habit still. I'm just like, 29:50 for Roche.
You don't even do, you don't alt-click the clock. You actually just type out the time?
Well, because you want to write like 29:50 Roche,
then
you do 34:50, and then 37. Yeah.
You go the extra mile.
I mean, it's just like force. I even started typing. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it's just force a habit. But yeah, every time that the Warlock Golem has been expended, though, I think only twice this game, I believe, and both times it's gone very heavily favored into Vici.
I got to give that props to Fenrir. A bit of a tough start for him to even get to that level 6, but for each time he's dished out the ult, it's mattered.
Yep.
So that and the Fatal Bonds have been a good force here for VGJ.
Yeah, Monet, I think, is probably... Ooh, Freeze actually gets a... was that a solo kill bottom? I was glancing at items, too. But Jixing now getting the bashes on him. Freeze is looking to be...
another bash!
Some trouble.
Are you serious, bro?
815 gold?
Dang.
Wicked 6 streak?
Slaughter is like, okay, well,
that's
BKB's coming.
Seems okay. Yeah, I think now Freeze is probably going to be wanting to sit a little bit higher on health once the engagement starts happening. Maybe still sit at like the 1 strength when he's going for like these pickoffs with it. But here we go.
Yeah, they got Fenrir.
Fenrir's going to go down.
Stalked originally by the Bounty Hunter. I mean, Fenrir did have a couple of sentries on hand, but aggressive rolling in now. Sees White, but obviously does not have detection. And look at this. 4 LFY members quickly look to pounce onto Aggressive. He pops the Rage, and he's just looking to hustle away from this, but they hit him with a track. They hit him with a crush. Where's the help at? They're busy top lane. That's going to be an Aegis down. And
Courier died, too.
They're hanging around waiting for the second life. FY goes for a good silence, gets the stun off, but they're already blasting down Aggressive with a Laguna, and they'll get the fish with the help of the Adaptive Strike. Super's going to get actually the last hit on that one. And now Chaos breaks out. A full Magnetize, but ROTK jumping into action will get quickly taken down. Magnetize still going through here, but it doesn't seem to be doing the best of damage.
He's alone.
He's one man here. I mean, that was a wonderful series of events for LFY. You got to remember, it strings back to the takedown of Freeze in the bottom lane. Then they go over, they find Fenrir, and they move over and they get the jump on the Aggressive. 1 by 1.
Big gold swing, 2,400 going the way of LFY there. And that was a Slardar who was sitting at pretty much 0 gold before he killed the Tinker bottom lane, and now he's got a full BKB. Like 3,000 gold accruing his way after these last like 3 minutes, literally. He's level 19 as well. And now Monet, he did have
Jeez.
this one. I was going to say, he's had this queued up actually from before, like the last 2 engagements, but he's going to be doubling back for that BKB on the Morphling from that because of the massive magic damage burst that Vici has.
Yeah, but is that going to be too much of a problem anymore? I mean, look at this. Vengeful Spirit has a hood. Bounty Hunter has a hood.
Oh, he's going for the... Okay, so maybe they are going to do the multiple pipes.
Like,
I was thinking it was a possibility, but I didn't know if they were actually going to do it. So, okay, they are going to do multi-pipes. Cool.
so cool magic burst you got there, VGJ, but we got some pipes to smoke over here and an answer for you. Poor FY and his magnetize isn't going to feel so good, but we'll see what VGJ look to do to kind of run this one back. They have been taking away that Aegis advantage they had previous. And look at that. He's going to be a BKB pickup also on the Morphling. Yeah, I mean, just really want to make sure that Freeze is like a non-factor in these fights. He's building up now what looks like into a Scythe. Try to get like some perma-hex action going. But again, BKBs are not going to really be too worried about that. Gotta feel pretty good about LFY in this game. But,
yeah, it was a great swing of events, but it's also... That's when Vici was split up. Vici's very... like adamant on them being able to group up, use the golem, and fight with that one. But when they're split up like that and the engagements are very awkward for them, it's really sloppy from them though, to be honest. Like they, at least from when I've seen them, they are very keen on making sure that they want to be like very kind of grouped up in those manners. They do seem to be splitting up a lot more than the Vici that I have been seeing from recent.
They head up to the top lane, but there's been a 5-man smoke movement here from LFY. They charge down through the mid lane. I think they set up the scan to the nearby shrine and didn't want to make the journey all the way up north, it looks like. So they'll take the time to get some wards down. And
Yeah, I do say like a bit sloppy from them, but also it's White's movement that's really been messing with them a lot, and Jixing also getting some very good like stun setups and a lot of bashes. To be honest, like he's getting a crazy amount of bash to deep, so it is throwing them off of their rhythm a bit, having the playing versus like Bounty Hunter and all that.
What do you think, though? I mean, does that prove to be a bit troublesome at all for Morphling that he had to commit for the BKB? Does his damage fall a bit shy to aggressive still? Or does just having that burst with the shotgun kind of make up for it?
I think he just needed to go for the BKB. I think it's just like from the last 2 engagements that we saw, like sitting at 1100 HP, if he just gets hit by like one casual boulder stun, he might just get bursted during that. So I think he just needs it.
All right, here comes
He's got to really watch himself.
VGJ now, heading their way all the way through down to the bottom lane here. All 5. ROTK making a move in. They spotted out White. They pop out the bomb, but it's a long chase, and it could be going into LFY as they look to turn it around. They move and get the crush and the quick kill on the ROTK. They're looking for FY next. They dish out the rock and everything they can to try to slow them down, but one by one they will fall. Aggressive also going to be going down here. Almost managed to cancel the TP there. It looked like a Fenrir, but another heavy initiative right there for LFY. They come across paths of White, but they're not able to get the quick enough catch. And White's able to kind of drag them towards the team and make a better setup for LFY.
So the first triple BKB showing from LFY, and it's perfect. I mean, RTK wasn't even able to get his lasso off. The golem was dropped and just wasn't really useful at all. And then aggressive just gets stunned up and bursted down almost instantly. Looking very good for LFY.
Yeah, and a matchup that felt pretty heavy favored for VGJ. And with the draft, they were able to throw it together for themselves, but here LFY, taking it to him right now. Moving down that mid lane, they pull off from their tier 2 push, feeling like they have a good thing going. They'll just kind of and take advantage of the farm game while they got it. Looks like Slardar was able to come across the So we have to see what's going to be next for them as far as trying to take this game back. While LFY are just kind of a team where we got to see what kind of closure they're going to be able to do in this. Freeze is trying to poke at the Morphling a bit from the side lane, but not really getting him too concerned.
Yeah, closure versus the Tinker. Gotta make sure to be able to kill the Tinker to break the high ground.
They have some respectable high ground on VGJ. It's not going to be the easiest thing to close out. And if they can get like a monster network swing and put that into the pocket of aggressive somehow, this could still be their game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we have the first pipe finished up for Bounty. What does Venge have? He's very close to the second pipe.
Yeah, first you saw 3 BKBs, but wait for dual pipes.
Yeah.
You're really going to be crying, you spellcasters. Quick takedown of the top ward there as they hope for a quick Roche spawn timer. Let's see how fortunate they're going to be. Okay, about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Jinx. And we'll see if that favors better for LFY or not, but they seem to spot it out aggressive here. He gets a helpful force and then a chaotic offering to try to slow down their roll. ROTK will move in, get the grab on the Slardar, pull back lasso play, but he pops his BKB and looks to slither on out, and now looks for a new setup. Crush takedown onto FY. He'll be the first one decimated, but they do get a response. Zap Blast takedown on not one but two here as they take out the Slardar and the Vengeful Spirit. VGJ, is this going to be enough of a momentum swing where they could maybe move on forward, try to get into that Roche pit?
It's like as soon as the BKBs go down, it's like that's when they're able to kill anybody. But Jisheng, when he had his BKB popped, he's pretty much immortal in the midst of everything. Even though the Lifestealer has like Desolator and the Armlet finished up, he tickles that Slardar right now.
Monet didn't have to use his BKB yet. Gets the money there from the Golem and is still flirting around this mid lane quite a bit, but doesn't look like VGJ want to make any sort of approach to him.
ROTK, super, spots him.
Hey, yo! Oh. Quickly blinks away before trouble comes out. Forces, and this is a man on the run. And it looks like he's going to be able to make it away. That was a little too close there, Mr. Return of the King.
It was like the instant he replicated and he got very, very afraid.
Good heads up. Back to the grind here for VGJ. This is their chance to finally just get their half of the map back into control here. I mean,
we said it nonstop in the beginning. This is the long game. This one is going to be a long one.
Yep.
Both teams are going for the very greedy types build. Warlock finishes his Midas. Now he's got a Glimmer. The Midas from the aggressive in the early game. Just kind of what we expected to see. They were paired up versus a Morphling. The Morphling last pick was very clever because there's just not that much catch for Vici. They have the Bat Rider and the Earth Spirit, and that was pretty much it for him. But
yeah, it's not only going to be long because of the item buildups, but just the way that either of these teams want to close the game out. It's going to be very difficult to.
I like this a lot. He had the Scotty clicked on his inventory for Monet, but I was mentioning before the Manta I think is really, really good for him, and he does go back for the Manta because now he has the BKB to remove to not only block the silences and the stuns, but now he has the Manta to be able to remove the silence and make it a little bit more difficult, and it gives him a good damage chunk potential.
All right, looks like LFY are posturing themselves into a position to move in and get the Roche. Not too much threats nearby for VGJ. Trying to get some vision nearby. They still have that really nice ward that actually spots aggressive there. This ward is really seeing the full approach of VGJ right now, and LFY are reading it. They head back to the lane and away from the Roche pit, and they're just waiting here. Let's see who pounces first.
Now they know the ward's there. Lina does reveal that, but they doesn't get the stun onto RTK. Yeah, they're pinging it now. They know exactly where it is.
Right on top of it, too.
He's like, Fenrir's
like, I'm going.
Yeah, he's got it. I mean, that's the last spot. That was the last spot that it could possibly be.
They see it, but they're like, I still can't even go for it. It's just way too risky. But, oh, my God, immediate call made. LFY just rushed back towards the pit. Can they get the ward down? They gotta get down first.
Way too quickly.
Okay, finally they get it down. But, yeah, as you mentioned, it's just so fast that LFY are able to kind of make that space for themselves to get it done. Now they have the Aegis and the extra life. We'll see what LFY look to do with it. Could kind of slow things down for a bit just to make sure they secure all of those, remaining items here.
Yeah, Super went for the 50 damage. I mean, this was at level 15, of course, but he went for the 50 damage instead of the 125 cast range. We do see most people go for the cast range, but I guess since he has a Slardar, he has a Venge, he's like, I want to be a right-clicking force. I want to be able to click this Lifestealer.
Yeah, they might need him to help kind of siege from the low ground, too, once it's time to approach, because, you got March to deal with. If you can kind of damage the tower from outside those marches and stuff, it'll help out.
He didn't go for like the Aghanims build either. He went for this like Shiva's build up to just be just a tanky forest as well. Just be a different type of Lina, not just like this one combo like nuke and then just stand there. But
okay, well, LFY seem to have a plan in mind. They're making their approach here from the north. VGJ looking to kind of slow them down. You already see the marches coming out from the trees.
Almost Hex finished up on Freeze. He's about 300 away.
I mean, do you go right for it? No buyback?
He's already got the Mystic Staff ulti
Woo!
orb.
All right, let's go. Because one significant fight, Freeze being taken out, LFY could just run through and take a Rax then.
Yeah,
So
Jixing.
it's a bit of a gamble.
Jixing went for the Shadow Blade too, so he's trying to get those tricky little positionings.
Comes the March.
Here we
Casual
go.
stun to slow them
He's
down.
in.
Oh!
Freeze!
He moves in and sees Freeze! Oh, if he takes him out, he's going to be
He gets it by
gone!
himself, basically. Monet with the last
70
hit.
seconds, no buyback.
Auto TK now?
LFY, if they can finish this out, this could just be quick racks. It could be just, oh my God, Monet with the double. That's it. VGJ have to get back inside.
That high ground ward that they placed there just spots Freeze instantly. Jixing with no hesitation blinks in, gets a crush, one or two bashes, and then Monet with the last hit cleanup onto Freeze. 56 seconds down on the Tinker, 56 seconds down on the Bat Rider as well. This could just very well be.
You got a rock. You
Rax.
might have to use it to stop them and stall things out, and I don't know how much they're going to be able to do here. They're doing everything they can to tickle at him a bit. Monet, though, going right back into the work. This Tier 3 is certainly done for, and now the Rax is going to be fully exposed, and Jesus Christ, he hits hard. That's done for. Not over yet. It looks like VGJ will be able to hold out, but they will be down to Rax.
And there's still the Aegis as well on the Morphling too. So this is just LFY now push the other two side lanes out and then keep the pressure on.
Let's see if they can push it out with still some time on that Aegis here. He might even be able to finish out maybe the Scotty along the way too.
Yeah, he's got it already. That was a
Jesus.
massive. I mean, that was. I'm going to look at it right now. Let's say, yeah, that was a huge swing. Yeah, about 7,000, just from those two kills in tower and Rax.
Yeah, I'm having trouble thinking about the last time VGJ have been able to make their own kind of a fight and their own decisive approach. Every time it feels like they've been trying to smoke and move out towards LFY, they come up a bit short and get kind of, chase and force themselves to dive into a very unfortunate position where LFY are able to capitalize so nicely. Freeze now just desperate to move back, get the finish at least on for the sheep stick here, because this could be their final hurrah. The approach is coming. LFY moving down this mid lane. A Shadow Blade on your Slardar here.
Firefly's on cooldown for 20 seconds, so they can't set up with that to claim this tier 2. So LFY should be able to take this one just pretty easily.
And siege away. No stop. Now Fenrir did hold on to the rock from the previous push here. So this is
Shrine time. Yeah,
their ultimate hold, but yeah, free money if they just go back and get the shrines finished out.
I think they're going to kill the shrine. Okay, yeah. It's like, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's time for that.
I really do not know at this point what you do for VGJ. I don't know. Is it desperation mode? Is it that the old complexity smoke wraparound kind of a play?
I think it's really tough just because they are...
Or do you just hope for them to overextend on their invade inside the base and that VGJ can just kind of punish them for it? Fogged, I see that unfortunately your game has crashed.
So, yeah, that is not what happened, but it's okay.
Okay, I don't know what happened
It's
over
all good.
there. Whatever the case may be, just feel free to look over my shoulder.
Yep.
LFY.
I think, like you're saying, though, I think it's really hard for VGJ to really take a fight. It's up to LFY just making these mistakes. These BKBs are just way too good versus what VGJ has to deal out. There's just not that much lockdown coming out from them. They have the Bat Ride and the Earth Spirit and then a Warlock Golem, and that's just about it.
Yeah, here we go. LFY, the sharks in the water right now. Getting rid of all the remaining excess vision here for VGJ to see outside their precious little home base. But they are pretty much farming through the whole map. They go cross-country. They claim the other shrine now. And pretty much all that's left is getting these lanes pushed back forward and making another move into that high ground. Maybe at this point, Freeze will hope to build up enough funds so that he can get that buyback money in reserve and ready to go. And same could be said for a lot of the others here. I'm going to look at, and there is not many buybacks ready. Only buybacks there are for Fenrir, which, not the biggest thing. You're hoping by that point you already got your rock off, and then it's pretty much just all on aggressive otherwise. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's just they're just gonna wait it out. It's just now he's already pretty much like 6 slotted on this Morphling. Now he's gonna go back for Satanic too. Like, what do you really do? It's ridiculous. What did he actually go for as his last talent, the Morphling? So he did go for the 400 waveform damage rather than the replicate damage. He doesn't really have anything.
Waveform range, not
range.
damage.
Sorry, yeah, I meant range. I was like, when I said damage, I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, wait, they have
Thank
a
you for that
400
catch.
damage? Good range there. Is that just so he can kind of make it? What would you say? Is it so he can get in and out from trouble easier, or
Multiple different uses, yeah.
yeah?
I think to set up, get out. The other one's not very good this game. Usually it's like if the other team has a very good like agi carry or something, you're able to get that like massive replicate damage, but not in this one. Aggressive almost finishing up that AC.
Yeah, they're waddling their way through the bottom lane right now. But, yeah, they could ping on a Monet and everything they want, but he still has a Lincolns, a Manta, a BKB. Oh, look who's coming in from behind here. White and Super making their own approach as they stalk down Vici J. Now going to be caught possibly outside the base, and a lot of these guys, no buybacks? Oh, no! He drops the rock regardless. They instantly blast down RTK, and I don't think this is going to get any better for him. They're just going to quickly make work of Fenrir. Aggressive is just trying to run away from trouble right now,
dead.
Pulling their attention away, but it is not going to be happening. They also got the finish on FY. Tries to dodge lesser trouble, but yeah, as you mentioned, this could just be the game right now.
Yeah, top lane's pushing in really hard. 4 dead. I don't think they have buyback on 2 of the heroes, but Rock was expended too. Lasso just not able to. RTK just not able to get his lassos off. Always getting bursted down in the beginning of these engagements from the beautiful wraparounds from LFY.
Freeze trying to pressure that mid lane to stop their roll, but they're already inside the base going to work. Tier 3 no chance at all. He needs to get back in here and get some more marches down, but Aggressive says, I'll just go in there a swinging. Quick Force will get the Morphling out from trouble, and now the Rax is down. I mean, VGJ, if you have any sort of fight in you, this has got to be when you take it, because it looks like there's going to be really no hope for you. Megas are just a moment away here.
Yeah, Vici just, I mean, even with they get, this is a 4-man bond, if they get the Hex and everything, it's just, LFY is just way too buff right now in comparison.
They're just like alternating pipes too and everything. Like, just, it's ridiculous. The March feels like nothing, the lasers, the Dagon, here's another pipe right now. Fenrir's just like, please, slow down, upheaval.
Yeah, LFY is like, okay, they're going to just turtle that one, so let's just go back and farm a bit more. I mean, they've got more than the resources that they need to close this one out. It's just about how they approach it. Everyone's approaching that, 4 or 5 slot items. Jishing's got a heart. Bounty Hunter's got Guardian Greaves Vlads. Everyone's just pretty happy with where they're at.
All right,
wait for next rush. Yeah, sure, why not? Safest play possible.
I got some credit there to VGJ or Aggressive kind of making go through that wild goose chase to stall it out a bit so that they can have this next chance. But as they try to go for it here, Aggressive in a bit of trouble. Force to pipe the Rage. Makes it back inside, though. I guess they figured that LFI were probably going to be moving back for that Roche, but LFI are still here. And now they'll go back for it.
Vici just can't push their lanes out right now. Both the other 2 lanes are pushing in from the racks, and then they're struggling to push out the bottom one too with Tinker, and that just gives LFI the potential to sit around the Roche.
Yeah, they're just going to wait for it. Go back, grab what they can. What did he just get? Oh, he's looking to finish out a sheep. He's get his mix. He picks up the Mystic Staff.
Yeah, he's got it finished up. It's coming out on the courier. So Super now Lina with a Hex. And what did he take for his last talent on the Lina? Apologies.
Looks like
so he did take the Fiery Soul stacks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's just much better. I mean, since he went for the damage as well, and he's not like a support or anything. The other one's more of like a support type of ability.
He'll help them be able to easily siege through the base at this point. Really looking like no outs here for VGJ. Wonderful showing here from LFY, though, and now they'll be able to secure the Roche and try to go for the finish here. A lot of pressure on VGJ to try to hold the high ground here. They may already know it's over, but, this is the start of the group stage for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Get in every lick you can.
Probably talk about a little bit of the issues that went on in the game. Like, they were probably just like, we got split up way too often. It just seemed like they had, their vision just was much better than ours in majority of these in the game.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter certainly was like one of the MVPs, if not the MVP for LFY on this one. Just gave him so much intel through the game.
Yeah, him and Jishing, honestly. The Slardar and the Bounty Hunter, very good plays. Just not only just reading the movements of the map, but the setups as well. It's just very good to say. Swap coming out, and they get aggressive
and
down.
And of all the people to get, they get the best one you could ask for. Aggressive is gone. No buyback for him. They dish out the Chaotic Offering, but I really don't think there's going to be much hope to follow it here. VGJ now scrambling to be able to make it back, now knowing that their core DPSer is not going to be there for them. It looks like focus on the objective at hand here for LFY. Securing the Megas is of the utmost importance, and,
closing the game out.
Closing the game out with a 1-1 series to start your day. I mean, LFY, I've said it enough, a team that was probably looked at as one of the underdogs, especially from one of the Chinese teams. They're going against VGJ, who are considered one of the better Chinese teams, and they get a 1-1 split. They got to feel pretty good. Nobody going to be eliminated, of course, from the group stage, but for better seeding's sake, it's a good start for LFY.
Lina winning both games. Let's go, Lina.
Yeah.
I really liked the Morphling pickup. I was a little bit reluctant just because of the bounty hunter, the way that the draft was. But then as like the mid game hit, the Morphling was pretty much free farming. They weren't really able to get the catch that Vici like wanted. It was a one or two at least like slight overcommitments from LFY, getting caught by like a 4-man rock into a 4-man combo follow up. But then afterwards, it was just like, all right, play the information game, split Vici up, let our Morphling do Morphling things. They barely have any catch for him. We know this. It was a last pick Morphling. It was perfect Morphling game. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did. They executed it.
Yeah, 5th pick feels so strong.
Yeah.
Feels real strong. We saw earlier like a Terrorblade 5th pick that kind of did work, I believe, for OG. And then here, you can see the Morphling kind of pull out the work. More heroes, and more of a deep meta as well. A bring back of the Bounty Hunter once again. It's an exciting time to watch some Dota. That just concludes our second heat of the DAC group stage action. We're going to be done for now, and you'll see myself and Fog next time on the mainstream super hype matchup as we're going to be doing Newbie Liquid, a battle of the 9K gods. Like, this is going to be so hype. I don't know who's coming in here next. We'll give them the full. We'll give them the full gist, and we'll be back with more DAC action, folks. So please stay tuned.